Good afternoon. I have the privilege this afternoon of standing before you and reading a very special letter that one of my clients wrote. Dear Santa, it's Hanna here. Thank you for the presents last Christmas. What is life like living at the North Pole? This Christmas, I am very thankful for a nice house, nice family, nice school, and nice big brother. Thank you, God, for this wonderful family. All I want for Christmas this year is if there is any way you could help my dad feel better, because I do not like it when my daddy has cancer. Ever since my daddy has cancer, he is not the same daddy I first saw. It is like cancer has changed my daddy's life, and my life too, and I hate it that way. So can you please make my daddy feel better? If I can have just that one thing, it would be the greatest Christmas ever. Hanna Ulmer, Christmas 2008. My name is Darren Ulmer. Hanna is my daughter. August, long weekend, 2008, after a great Saturday afternoon of golfing and partying at the lake, I woke up with a little lump under my ear. After what seemed like the worst episode of house I had ever lived through, going through 3 different doctors in almost 6 weeks to finally convince someone to at least have a biopsy done on it, because they kept telling me, you're in great shape. There's nothing in the blood work. Took 6 weeks to finally get somebody to say, well, if it'll make you feel better, I'll send you for a biopsy. On Friday, September the 26th, I went in and saw one of Canada's top thoracic oncologists who lives and practices here in Saskatoon. Did a biopsy on my, stuck a horse needle about that long right into the middle of this lump on the side of my throat. After I picked myself up off the floor, he said, I won't have any results for about a week. Go back to your life. Well, it was never going to happen to me. I was sure it was going to be nothing. Because you see, in the last 3 generations of my family, with 3 of my grandparents living well into their 90s and the 4th living well into his 80s, we have no discernible family history of cancer. It was never going to happen to me until the day I became a statistic. I was diagnosed with squamous cell carcinoma on my tonsil. Yes, you can get cancer on your tonsil, believe it or not, and the adjacent 2 lymph nodes in my neck. I started a 9-week journey of chemotherapy. I had a PICC line inserted into my arm, which meant that all the drugs went directly into the top vessel of my heart. Every 3 weeks, I was in the hospital for 7 hours while they infused my body with about 2 liters of poison to kill every fast-moving cell in my body. That took me till the beginning of December. After about 3 weeks of holiday, when you were getting ready to go out for New Year's Eve on 2009, I began 6 weeks of radiation therapy. Using today's smart art technology, I got to wear this every day while I was strapped motionless to a table. For 12 minutes, a laser-guided radiation beam completely irradiated everything from the bottom of from the top of my bottom lip to here. I will never have to shave again in a day in my life. That's the very first day I went in for treatment. My son and daughter wanted to come in with me. They saw me strapped down to the table. I'm completely immobilized. It's the same day I got my very first 3 tattoos. I have gun sights permanently on my chest here and here for them to line up that laser to every day. 12 minutes every day with your eyes closed, strapped to that table. Completely eliminated my taste buds, all of the saliva on this side of my body, on this side of my face, and thankfully I have about half of the saliva left on this side. After 6 weeks of that, into the beginning of February last year, they gave me a little bit of time to recover because I had third-degree burns on my neck. I had to take time for that to recover. And 11 months ago, I had major surgery to remove 30 lymph nodes on this side of my neck, from my shoulder over and my tonsil. 11 months ago. I hold in my hand 2 critical illness benefit checks. Mine. Each of these checks amounts are in 6 digits. Who would like to trade me the last year of my life for these 2 checks? Anyone? Well, I want to tell you what critical illness insurance benefit bought me. You see, every day, excuse me. For those of you in the room that know me, I love my kids, just like everybody loves their kids. And I'm a very emotional father. And after school, when my kids came home from school and I came home from work, we were always wrestling around. We were doing different things. And if you have a little girl, one of the things you probably did with your little girl is, I love to tickle my little princess. That smile on her face is one of the most important things in my day. Well, after 7 hours of chemotherapy, I really wasn't in the mood to listen to Hanna, Montana, how her day was or what was going on at her school. But after I got her Christmas letter, you see, she still believes in Santa Claus. And she would write a letter to Santa every year. We actually intercepted it that year, excuse me. And what we did the next day is we went to a local store and we bought a double-wide leather Lazy Boy fully reclining chair. We took that chair and we set it right smack dab in the middle of our living room, and that became the recovery chair. And every day when Hanna came home from school, she would drop her Hanna Montana backpack off at the door. She'd run into the kitchen, she'd grab a glass of water or a glass of juice, she'd come and she'd sit on my lap and set it beside the table, beside the chair. She would tell me how her day was, and Hanna got to have her tickle. Sometimes critical illness is about a piece of furniture. And this is a picture of me with the kids. Because what we forget with critical illness insurance, we talk every day, we talk today about, I had a disability plan at work, which was great. And how many times has a client sat in front of you and said, I have disability insurance, I don't need that. What we forget is that your disability insurance only pays your household bills. It doesn't pay for all the drugs you have to take during your treatment. That includes the drugs that aren't covered under the health plan. That includes fentanyl for pain. That includes Dilaudid, a drug 2 times as addictive as heroin. That includes drugs that are $50 a pill so that you don't throw up. Because you have cancer in your throat is so closed up that you drink water with an eyedropper, and the mere thought of throwing up would bring panic to your face and to your body. Critical illness insurance means that those drugs are paid for. It means that the 64 bottles a week of Amend, or the 64 bottles a week of Ensure, or what's the other one? Boost, that I had to drink. You see, because I couldn't swallow. If I didn't ingest any food, I was going to have to get a feeding tube put in, and that just was not going to happen. I went from 200 pounds down to 165, but I did not have to have a feeding tube. Life is about small victories. So I stand here today as Hanna's dad, and on March 16th of this year, I went in for my checkup with my oncologist. And he told me, in no uncertain terms, to quit bothering him. He said, originally I have to be there every 3 months for the first 2 years, every 6 months after that, and then once a year from 5 years out. He has told me that I am completely clear of all trace of the cancer, and that I should go back to living my life.